Hi viewers, welcome to Web Trainings Academy. Today in this video, I am going to give a quick view on what is web designing and what is that you are going to learn by the end of our training sessions. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Mohammad Arif. I am working as a senior web designer and instructor at Web Trainings Academy with 5+ years of experience. We train here to specialize in advanced web designing course easily, quickly and much effectively, even if you're completely new to this field or just have a basic knowledge. The first part that I would like to start up is actually what is this web designing and what are the technologies that we use in web designing which are also a part of our curriculum. So first, a simple introduction for web designing, which is all about creating a great website. Web designing is a process of collecting ideas and aesthetically arranging and implementing them, guided by certain principles for a specific purpose. In simple terms, web design can be defined as a process of creation with the intention of presenting the content of a particular organization, company, or any business on web in the form of website, and hence the users can access through the internet with the help of a web browser. Generally, websites can be made for major organizations, small and large enterprises, brands, products, individual ventures, etc. Website designing is all about building an online useful stage that is used to share information about the company and usually involves technologies and standards such as HTML, CSS, JavaScript, etc. Web designing is all about creating websites, and for creating websites there is a procedure. Here the first thing would be the client requirement analysis, where we collect complete required data as much as possible from the clients like business type, logo, number of pages, images, content, preferable colors, etc. And based on that data we are going to plan up for the page structure and a basic idea of how we want to put up different elements. Then our next step would be designing, where what we actually planned put it on the document here by using graphic designing software and make changes for better look of the page. Once our layout is created, then our next thing would be converting it into HTML. That is, by using the web technologies, like to display the content in the web browser we use HTML, to apply styling properties to the displayed HTML element we use CSS, and to make the elements dynamic or interactive elements we use JavaScript and jQuery. Once the page is created, then our next step would be creating different pages and giving hyperlinks to menu elements, etc. That is creating a complete website. While at the same time we have to take care that when it is displayed in a browser, it can be any browser, all the elements should be working properly, else we have to take some precautions by using some compatibility related elements. Once this whole process is completed in our local PCs, then our next step would be displaying the website online. For this, first we have to register a domain name, and then to this name we have to link up the website created by uploading the files on the hosting server. Hence, the website will be displayed when the user will open a domain name in the URL. Here you are going to learn web designing in order of this particular procedure through different modules. Through our sessions, we are going to learn the topics as well as work with some live examples. Here I am going to give a short introduction of modules in our course. Starting up with the first module would be Photoshop. Photoshop is a pixel-based graphic designing software mainly used to edit images. Here we can also work with the documents to be displayed on the screen. Generally we refer to the screen resolution, which is nothing but measure in units of pixels. So here we are going to deal with mainly creating the web related documents, that is like the banners for image sliders, editing the other images for content, and of course mainly creating a page layout. Here we are going to show how the page looks, and editing wise much easier simply by using the other tools. Once we have a complete idea of how the page should look, then we can convert the web page by using HTML and CSS. So here in our module, we are going to learn using the tools, applying effects, working with the document setup, and start up creating a sample layout. Then once we complete this, our next module is going to be working with web pages. That is, either if we have a layout in Photoshop, then we convert it into a web page, or else directly we are going to create a web page, for which we are going to require HTML and CSS. So our second module here would be HTML, that is hypertext markup language, mainly used to create the documents or pages on the web. When writing a HTML page, we add tags in order to create the structure. These tags tell the browser how to display the text or graphics in the web document. HTML tags defines the content of each page. To display the content in the desired format, like suppose for headings we use h1, h2, h3 tags for headings. For creating blocks we use div tags. Here during our sessions we will be learning to write the structure of the web page, head section elements, and different tags that we are going to use to display the content in the page. Those include structure tags, that is using tables and div tags, content tags like headings, paragraphs, images, creating hyperlinks, etc., and form tags. Then our next module will be CSS, and generally CSS is nothing but an acronym for Cascading Style Sheets. It is a web-based markup language used to describe the look and formatting of a website to the browser, most commonly used in the HTML page. It is mainly the concept of creating the pages by styling the HTML elements. It offers support for font properties including typeface, emphasis, colors for text and backgrounds, borders, positions, lists, alignment of text, images, tables, and other web elements. Overall, complete styling of a web page can be done by using the various CSS properties. Here in our sessions, we are going to learn completely about defining CSS, selectors, and applying various properties to HTML elements. Then our next module will be HTML5. It is also a markup language as that of HTML4, which is nothing but a new version or simply an update of HTML4, mainly used for structuring and presenting the content on the web page. Certainly, new elements such as header tag, section tag, nav tag, article tag, etc. have been introduced here, which will help the search engines analyze web pages better. Changes are made in the mockup for new semantic elements and more powerful form elements, attributes, better media support for audio and video, canvas, SVG for two-dimensional graphics. So, and many more options are included in HTML5. So here we are going to learn all the newly included elements, and then we are going to implement these new elements within the page. Then our next module will be CSS3, which is nothing but the latest version of CSS2 or the normal basic CSS properties. So CSS3 here offers a huge variety of new ways to create an impact with the designs, with quite a few important changes. So here in our sessions we are going to learn about the new additions like backgrounds, gradients, text effects, multi-column layout, shadow effects, transition, transform, and animation effects, and of course the compatibility issues and solving those problems. Then once we are familiar with HTML and CSS, then our next module would be responsive web designing. As we know, in today's trend, almost every new client these days wants a mobile version for their website. For many websites, creating a website version for each resolution and new devices would be impossible, or at least impractical. So today, a new concept has evolved, that is responsive web design. In simple terms, we can define it as an approach that suggests the design and development should respond to the user's behavior and environment based on the screen size, platform, and orientation. Here mainly we consider common devices like desktops, tablets, and mobiles. The main features that we will be taking into consideration for creating a responsive web designing template, first one would be something like the layout should be flexible. That is, The structure of the page should be changing according to the device dimensions. For this purpose, the main change in writing the code would be defining the width in percentages rather than in pixels. Second major thing in the responsive web designing would be working with images. There are a number of techniques to resize images proportionately, and many are easily done. But in responsive web design, to make an image flexible according to the device would be to use CSS property max width for an easy fix. That is nothing but just giving the image tags max width 100%. The third important concept that would be using is the CSS3 media queries. Media queries are simple filters that can be applied to CSS styles, which makes easy to change styles based on the characteristics of the device, rendering the content, including the display type, width, height, orientation, and even resolution. And of course, one more aspect would be the usage of viewport for mobile portability. Hence, here during our module, first we are going to concentrate on these concepts, then by using them we are going to create a web page which would be completely writing the code manually. Once we have a complete knowledge in the responsive web designing, then the concept of Bootstrap would be easily understood. Bootstrap is the most important popular HTML, CSS and JavaScript framework for developing responsive mobile first projects on the web. It contains HTML and CSS based design templates for typography, forms, buttons, navigation and many other interface components, as well as optional JavaScript extensions. And these are all free built-in CSS code style sheet that we are going to attach to our HTML file and build the page just by using the CSS selectors. Overall, using the Bootstrap for creating a responsive web design would be easier and time-saving process, as the CSS code with device flexibility is already defined. Once we have completed the complete static related topics, then the next side would be to apply a little dynamic code for interactivity of web pages. So our next module would be JavaScript. Generally speaking of JavaScript, it is a client-side scripting language. One of its main use is to access and manipulate the elements created using a markup language. It is mainly an object-oriented computer programming language commonly used to create interactive effects within the web browsers. Here in our sessions, we are going to learn the operators, conditional statements, loops, event handlers, using the functions and writing script. In our sessions, we are going to learn to write the script for form validations, as other interactive effects are commonly done by using jQuery plugins. And of course, which is our next module, that is jQuery, which is a lightweight open source JavaScript library that simplifies the interaction between HTML and JavaScript. Simply we can say that an animation or effect related JavaScript file is already built, which we attach the file to our site and write the script to link an HTML element to perform that particular animation from JavaScript. Basically here we are going to learn how to install the jQuery file, writing the script, and the methods to apply built-in effects to HTML elements. During our sessions, I am going to show different plugins like for menus, image slider, gallery, user interface effects, form validations, etc., which makes the website have a good look and feel and create much effective website by using the interactivities or simply different animations. So after completing JavaScript and jQuery, then our next module would be using the Flash software, that is mainly to integrate simple animations that we need in our web pages. Here we are going to use the Adobe Flash software, which is mainly used to create the content and animate different objects for web applications, games, characters, and different animations. Here we'll be mainly concentrating on the animations related to web, that is like content animation, banners animation, and also even create a basic website, but not as much customized as of what we create from HTML and CSS. Anyhow, in this module we are going to learn the Flash software, how we are going to use the tools, how we are going to work with the tools, applying different types of animations, and writing the basic action script. At the end, we'll be going to implement the animations into a web page. So once we have completed up till this module, so you can be able to create your own website that is in the local machines. Now we want to upload the sites on the browser. Now for this purpose, generally we'll be using the concept domain and hosting, which will be our last module at the end of our session. Now here, if you are speaking of domain and hosting, so first let us check out what is this domain name. In simple terms, we can define a domain name is a unique name that identifies an internet resource such as a website. On the web, the domain name is that part of the uniform resource locator, like generally what we call URL, which tells a domain name server whether and where to forward a request for a web page. The domain name is mapped to an IP address, which represents a physical point on the internet, which will be linked to the hosting server. Also, simply we can say that domain name locates an organization or any other entity on the internet. For example, let us take a domain name like webtrainings.in, which locates an internet address for webtrainings.in at some interpoint, like it may be 199.0.0.2, and that in turn to a particular host server. The .in part in this domain name reflects the purpose of the organization or the entity. Here what we have used is a country code, and it is called the top level domain name. The web trainings part of the domain name defines the main organization name or entity, and together with the top level is called as the second level domain name. The second level domain name can be thought of as a readable version of the internet address, or simply that would be a company name. Hosting can be defined as a storage device for a website or other data on a server or other computer so that it can be accessed over the internet. In simple terms, it is a type of internet hosting service that allows individuals and organizations to make their website accessible via the World Wide Web, like what we call www, by storing the files like web pages, images, script files, CSS files, etc. for creating a website on the server. We purchase the required server space on the server from hosting companies, maybe something like GoDaddy, BigRocks, eWebIndia, etc. Once purchased, then we will be uploading all the website related files on the server and link up the domain name which is already registered. Thus, in this modules, we will be checking out with examples and live hosting of site and complete website online editing procedures in cPanel from our training sessions. Then at the end, we'll be going with a project where complete guidance will be given to you to design a website. And also, if required, we'll be providing you a complete resources that is required for designing your site. For further details on course syllabus, you can visit our website webtrainings.in, and for any other inquiries regarding technical details, you can visit our academy and you can directly speak with me. And if you have any inquiries regarding fees, class schedules, you can contact our admin on mobile, that is 905242544. Thanks for listening to this demo, and in future I'll be uploading more videos giving brief details of each module separately. Thanks once again for listening this demo. Hope you like it.